Observers at Geyser Hill in Yellowstone's Upper Geyser Basin near Old Faithful witnessed something unseen for 2 years, the eruption of Geyser Aurum. This modest-sized but charismatic geyser sits at a bend in the trail that surrounds Geyser Hill, in front of a gravel pool filled with geyser eggs, fine pebbles made of mineral layers deposited from the geyser's water. According to citizen scientists, Orum erupted nearly 30 times over the next 14 days, sending plumes of smoke about 20 feet into the air. Orum's resurgence wasn't the only change at Geyser Hill in recent weeks. On the same day that Orum erupted, the popular Beehive Geyser erupted twice. Beehive typically erupts every 6 to 10 hours, though with considerable variation. On May 24, a series of eruptions began at shorter intervals of about 15 to 16 hours. Smaller features also became more active. On May 30, a small geyser known as UNNGGHG17, named after a system of naming small or unnamed features based on geographic location, at the Doublet Pool spillway began erupting for the first time since 2018, spewing about 1 meter 3 feet into the air and maintaining a frequency of about once every 90 minutes for the first few days of its appearance. The unusual activity at Geyser Hill caught the public's attention. Citizen scientist Graham Meach witnessed the eruption of 17 20 times over 2 days, carefully recording the timing of the eruptions and how the intervals between them varied. Meach's data covered a critical period in 17's eruptive cycle that would otherwise have gone undetected before park officials could install monitoring equipment at the geyser. When 17 began erupting again, a new feature, dubbed UNNGGHG17A, emerged from the surface. 17A is located about 3 meters 10 feet southeast of 17 and next to a boardwalk. When this new feature erupted, it stirred up fragments of sinter rock made from minerals precipitated from geyser water and ejected debris, some of which landed on the sidewalk. By June 5, the vent from 17A had grown to 0.75 meters, 2.4 feet in diameter. Meach noted on May 30 that the activity of 17 and 17A were closely linked, with 17A consistently erupting about 8 minutes after 17. Just a few days later, the behavior of this new geyser was strikingly different. Previously, the geyser would dry out between eruptions, but park geology staff visiting the site on June 5 found a largely stagnant, filled pool of water. The activity at Geyser Hill was remarkably similar to that seen in the same area in September 2018. That period included a rare eruption of ear spring that brought decades of human debris to the surface, including coins, hats, cans, concrete blocks, and a baby's pacifier. In fact, it was during this period that the feature known as 17 first formed. The unusual conditions of the May 2023 event weren't over. Although activity at 17 and 17A slowed, a previously existing feature near Doublet Pool in the middle of the boardwalk began to become active. Nicknamed Snowball by some because it spewed small fragments of sinter, this feature began erupting, shooting 88 degrees Celsius, 191 degrees Fahrenheit, air at least a foot or two high, with some air droplets landing on the boardwalk. Activity at this feature was nearly constant on June 4, with eruptions reported every 90 seconds. Then, on June 7, a new vent, a few inches west of Snowball, opened, ejecting air in frequent eruptions that flowed outward with the air current. Due to this unusual activity, the path between Sponge Geyser and Double Pool was closed to protect visitors and staff from falling rocks and boiling water.